It was a genocidal war that has taken lives over 1 million lives. This is for you is just difficult to understand the enormity, the depth and width of this devastating war.
The first thing we have to understand is the size of your diocese. So how big is your diocese?
My diocese is as big as, let us say, 3 times the size of Austria. It has a population in total, general population of between 6 and 7 million. Big majority is Orthodox. Catholics also in Tigray. We are not big in number, maybe minority, but we cover more than 15% of the whole population of Tigray through our social ministry.
It's hard to give the whole complex story, but just in very brief terms, a terrible conflict has bedeviled Ethiopia for 2 years, from 2020 to 22. And while there is peace, there's a lot of suffering. Maybe not enough of us in the church know about the situation in Ethiopia, and in particular your part up in the north in Tigray. So tell us what has happened over the last couple of years, Bishop.
Ethiopia had experienced a very peaceful and development-oriented 20 plus years, which made it among 10 fastest growing economies in the world. But when this war started on Tigray, there was entire army of Ethiopia, all kind of security forces from Eritrea, those Somalis who were in Eritrea under training, United Arab Emirates drones, by land, by air. It was a complete blockade and siege. What was happening to the population is horrendous, that over 1 million lives have perished within 2 years of war. Of course, politically, the official figures are told lower than that, but it was a genocidal war that has taken lives over 1 million lives. So not only that, but the gender violence, untold experiences of gender violence.
There was a photographic exhibition which in some ways tried to bring that to people's attention, the suffering particularly of the women in the midst of a war situation. The very apt title is Bodies as Battlefields.
Bodies, yes, have been a battlefield. Is something one would not expect happens in 21st century, such a level of killing, such a level of gender violence. And the figures is taken officially as 125,000 or so, but well above that is my conviction. And this is for you is just difficult to understand the enormity, the depth and width of this devastating war. The Pretoria Peace Agreement has brought that active war to stop, and we are grateful to all those who facilitated it, but in another form, blockages, security risks are continuing, and occupations also, and people are continue in displacement.
How many people do you think are internally displaced?
In the beginning, when the war came, were over 2 million internally and above 60,000 to Sudan. They ran
out, yeah.
It was a chaotic kind of displacement with all kind of killings. So like that, in Adigrat alone, there were over 100,000 people internally displaced, and literally every resident family had 3, 4, 5 families on top of them. and all of them without anything, totally, absolutely blocked and seized. So this was situations that were why, as church, as Catholic Church, we were crying out for the world, for humanitarian access. Tigray, 2 years, around 2 years, was complete. Everything was closed or destroyed, and both by principle and by practice, not a single possibility of in and out.
I know in one of your statements to the Vatican News, talked about a man-made famine. The war and the blockade has really made life very hard for the people.
Yes, is when you seal out a region of 7 million people completely by air, by land, and by modern communication means. Nothing comes in, nothing goes out. Whatever was inside being looted or being destroyed. Then this is, not only bullet, but those who get sick, they die. Those who get nothing to nourish, they die. So this is man-created.
So it's very important that we do, in some ways, share the story. Now, I know Pope Francis and the Vatican often speak about it, but that doesn't mean it gets onto the BBC or RTE. But a good moment of solidarity is the Irish bishops, my own bishop included, visited. So how important is that visitation?
The solidarity visit of bishops of Ireland, 6 bishops, the most senior officials of Trochera have visited us, and this is the symbolic, like Macedonian church caring for Jerusalem church in the New Testament, Paul's time. Now the church showing each other fraternal encouragement that whoever is in trouble continue courageously being hope for the population who has lost, somewhere to lean on and hope for. So it was a great boost of morale for me as a brother bishop, and for my clergy, my missionaries working with me, who have gone through hell on earth, in remaining in their places, that no one would know what is happening in another mission. No communication, no electricity, no services. These are heroes for the gospel of today, and that a church of from Ireland, the Catholic Church's representation comes like that, was, you can see, is a great celebration that we did also.
We were talking earlier about Pope Leo and his message for peace. What do you feel about the importance of his message of peace at this time?
I believe it is very important, and I believe there is a clear continuity of the resonance of Pope Francis, God rest him, who has delivered so many messages of peace, of humanitarian calls, and who has touched every heart in my region for people of every faith and even politicians to speak on behalf of humanity. And this, I see the result, the effect, and the reality of that gospel word. And when historically, in the season of Easter, when Pope Leo comes up with a message of peace be to you, this is like Jesus' message to the disarrayed apostles after his death, that through his resurrection, his appearances were a message of peace. So this peace message for the countries, the population around the world, under violence, under wars, under direction crisis and hopelessness, is a great voice of hope, message of hope. I want to express on behalf of all of us back at home our gratitude to the Irish Catholic Church. They are a national organization, Torokara, the faithful who invisibly from behind that they support their organization, their bishops' conference for this fraternity worldwide, for justice, for peace, for social cohesion. I wish to say thank you very much. God bless you all, and thank you very much.
Well, Bishop, thanks very much for that. And I know that those words are very much appreciated. And as I say, like what you said there earlier, that's the church, that if one part of the church is hurting, the rest of the church should go and try and help. So it's beautiful that we're able to do that. And thank you for your time today.